Hey guys, this is Ms. Hawkinson from Kippason Primary, and we're going to do a second grade read aloud. Second graders, we've been working pretty hard in Wheatley and text study, and today we're going to practice one of the objectives that we've been working hard on, which is finding key details in an image. Now, remember that key details are details that if we don't understand, the book doesn't make sense to us, and we miss some key points that the author wants us to learn or to understand. So a key detail is really important to the text. Most of the time, those key details come from words, but we learned that a lot of times illustrations, photographs, or those nonfiction text features really add to our understanding of the text. And that's true even in nonfiction books. So we're going to read one of my favorite stories, which is called An Extraordinary Egg by Leo Leone. As we read through this text, the words are important. They tell the story, but we get some important key details from the illustrations. So as I read through it, I want you to pay attention to the pictures and think about what we learn from the pictures. And there's something that's pretty big that if we don't notice it in the picture, we won't understand what makes the story great. An Extraordinary Egg by Leo Leone. On Pebble Island, there lived 3 frogs, Maryland, August, and one who was always somewhere else. That one's name was Jessica. Jessica was full of wonder. She would go out on long walks way to the other side of Pebble Island and return at the end of the day shouting, "Look what I found." And even if it was nothing but an ordinary little pebble, she would say, "Isn't it extraordinary?" But Marilyn and August were never impressed. She looks pretty happy to be out exploring on her own. One day, in a mound of stones, she found one that stood out from all the others. It was perfect, white like the snow and round like the full moon on a midsummer night. Even though it was almost as big as she was, Jessica decided to bring it home. Now take a look at this illustration. I notice a key detail here. Looking at that pebble that Jessica found that she wants to bring home, to me, it doesn't look that much different from the pebbles and the mounds of stone that surround it. They're all white, they're all about the same color, they're all about the same size. In fact, some are even bigger. But Jessica is so observant, she notices what she said, how smooth and white that it is. So this picture helps me understand what kind of qualities and traits Jessica has. I wonder what Marilyn and August will say when they see this, she thought as she rolled the beautiful stone to the small inlet where the 3 of them lived. "Look what I found," she cried triumphantly. "A huge pebble." This time, Marilyn and August were truly astonished. "That is not a pebble," said Marilyn, who knew everything about everything. "It's an egg, a chicken egg." "A chicken egg? How do you know it's a chicken egg?" asked Jessica, who had never even heard of chickens. Marilyn smiled. "There are some things you just know." A few days later, the frogs heard a strange noise coming from the egg. They watched in amazement as the egg cracked and out crawled a long, scaly creature that walked on 4 legs. "See," exclaimed Marilyn, "I was right. It is a chicken." "A chicken!" they all shouted. The chicken took a deep breath, grunted, gave each of the astonished frogs a look, and said in a small, raspy voice, "Where is the water?" "Straight ahead," the frogs cried out excitedly. Now take a close look at this illustration. There's a pretty important detail that I see. What's the key detail that you notice in the picture that the author does not say in the words? That's right. The chicken threw herself into the water and the frogs dove in after her. To their surprise, the chicken was a good swimmer, and fast too, and she showed them new ways to float and paddle. They had a wonderful time together and played from sun up to sundown. And so it went for many days. Then one day, when Jessica was somewhere else, August and Marilyn saw a commotion in the water below them. Someone was in trouble. Quickly, the chicken dove into the dark pool. August and Marilyn were frightened. After a few long moments, the chicken reappeared, carrying Jessica. "I'm all right," she called. "I got tangled in the weeds, but the chicken saved me." From that day on, Jessica and her rescuer were inseparable friends. Wherever Jessica went, the chicken went too. They traveled all over the island. They went to Jessica's secret thinking place and to the Great Pebble Monument. One day they went to a place where Jessica had never been before. A red and blue bird flew down from a tree. "Oh, there you are," it exclaimed when it saw the chicken. "Your mother has been looking all over for you. Come, I'll take you to her." They followed the bird for a very long time. They walked and they walked. They walked under the warm sun and the cool moon. And then they came upon the most extraordinary creature they had ever seen. It was asleep, but when it heard the little chicken shout, "Mother!" it slowly opened one eye, smiled an enormous smile, and in a voice as gentle as a whispering grass said, "Come here, my sweet little alligator." And the little chicken climbed happily onto her mother's nose. "Now it's time for me to go," said Jessica. "I'll miss you very much, little chicken. Come visit us soon and bring your mother, too." What another key detail that we see in this picture. Jessica couldn't wait to tell Marilyn and August what had happened. As she neared the inlet, she shouted, "Guess what I found!" And she told them all about it. "And do you know what the mother chicken said to her baby?" Jessica asked. "She called her my sweet little alligator." "Alligator," said Marilyn. "What a silly thing to say." And the three frogs couldn't stop laughing. Now, what I love about this book and this objective, which is to notice a key detail in the illustration, is that if you didn't notice what little chicken actually was, you would miss the joke that Marilyn, August, and Jessica have, which is that this little chicken isn't a chicken at all, but an alligator. And that is why it is called an extraordinary egg. So when you're reading books, make sure you pay attention to the details that are in the illustrations and the photographs as well. And you can learn more about what the author wants you to learn. Take care, Kipsters. I miss you and I love you.